Thank you for having us, and it is a special occasion to be here in this great event. My name is Emmanuel Desousa, and I'm a co-founder of Princeville Capital, a growth stage global tech investor firm. We have actually two fund families, Princeville Global, which invests in internet and software businesses around the world, typically 2 to 5 years to an exit. But importantly, we have a fund family called Princeville Climate Tech, and it invests in a subset of companies that, in addition to providing returns and backing great businesses, have a real measurable climate positive impact. And it is in that context that I got to know great entrepreneur, Mario, and we got to invest in Enpal early on to really make a dent on residential solar capacity in Europe, starting with Germany. And so maybe with that, Mario, if you can hear us well, you can touch on what the business is doing today, spend a minute on that, and then the exciting part for me, and I'm sure members of the audience here, is where's the vision of Enpal that you're trying to build?
Yeah. So the idea of Enpal, or the product, is that we make it very easy, that we deliver a no-brainer solution for people to get a solar system, a battery, and a wall box, and in the future a heat pump and an EV itself. Yeah. So we at Enpal think if you make it really easy and a no-brainer for people to switch, people will do. Yeah. And we started Enpal in 2017. And 6 years later, we do 400 million of revenue this year. We are profitable, and we are by far the biggest installer of integrated solar systems. And the vision of Enpal is to combine all these houses into a gigantic network, because we believe we can transform humanity to become a renewable community. And this is the vision of Enpal in the end.
So as you think about the economics of the business, there's been a huge transformation around solar becoming just a pet project where you could have some impact. It costs more than the alternative, to where we are today, where in fact it's cheaper alternative of energy than a lot of the other traditional sources. And in the current macro context also provides individuals and communities and countries even with energy security. Have you felt this transition as you built up the business, and where do you see the impact in the next couple of years of energy security in the mindset of consumers?
Yeah, I think it was like 2015 or 2016 where I learned two things. So if someone goes solar or renewable energies, then he's going to save a lot of money. Yeah. So this was the first thing. So it does not really cost us money. It's like a money printer. Yeah. It gives you money when you do it. When you do it, to say it very simple words. And the other thing is, if we don't do it, the majority of us is going to die over the next decades. Yeah. So this was like a basic motivation, yeah, for me. So people, when we don't do it, it's very bad for us. And if you do it, we save a lot of money. And nowadays we offer a product where when people switch to our solution, they save like minimum €1,000 a year compared to what they paid for electricity and petrol before. Yeah, most of them are saving like €2,000, and they don't pay anything in advance for our solution. So there's zero upfront cost. And if anything gets broken, we're going to fix it for free over 20 years. And after having our solution for 20 years, it's theirs for one symbolic euro. So we made this transition, and we see an overwhelming demand for this solution. Yeah.
And with such a powerful value proposition for consumers, where do you see the urgency to add more pieces to the puzzle? Are you going to be adding more things besides solar, battery, EV charger to complement this solution of energy provision? And how quickly are you going to be adding more pieces to the puzzle?
Yeah, so in the last 2 years, we added the battery and we added the EV charger. And so we are like kind of comfortable to add one piece per year, yeah. And we were like really surprised that like over 90% of our customers are going for a battery as well next to the solar system, way over 90%. And also the majority of customers goes for the EV charger as well. Yeah, even though most of them do not have an EV yet. Yeah, so this was really surprising for us. So next year we want to do the heat pump. Yeah, and maybe 1 year later the electric car will follow. Yeah. And so we do it like step by step, but then we see then an overarching tendency of people to take the whole system. And maybe what's really important is we are not a hardware company. So we sell hardware, we install hardware, but in our heart we are like a software company because we get like all the data for the customers, and we are the highest rated app in this field, I think, in Europe. Yeah, and we allow people to monitor how much money they earn with our system, and we allow them to steer how they want to use the energy and how they want to save money. Yeah, this is like really the heart of Enpal, to connect a lot of thousands and thousands of houses to become this gigantic network, and to let everybody profit from network effects. Yeah, because the magic thing about renewables is it's a prosumer technology. You consume energy and produce it at the same time. Yeah.
So I'm glad you touched on that point, and certainly having the opportunity to become a virtual power plant or a virtual utility was part of our thesis. When we joined forces and partnered with you, we had done a lot of work in the US, we had a lot of work in other markets like Australia and Japan, and when we looked at Europe, and in Germany in particular, we saw the potential for something to be achieved that was quite unique. Not to be a threat necessarily to the traditional utilities, they're going to be fine somehow, but really to create a new generation of a utility, an energy company of the future. And that's our vision for you guys, but fundamentally, Mario, it's your vision. If you can touch on that long-term vision, that would be super exciting, I'm sure, for the audience.
Yeah, so to say it in very simple words, we think like that the majority of houses will look like this. So a house will have a solar system on the roof producing electricity, a battery to keep this electricity for the night, an EV charger to use this electricity to charge an EV, and a heat pump to transform this electricity in the capability of making your house warm. So this will, we think like that the majority of houses will look like this for purely economic reasons. Because if people do not do it, if people stay with their gas heating and their combustion engine car, they're going to pay a lot more money. Yeah, and people cannot afford to stay with old technology. So we think that everyone, or the absolute majority of people, will switch. And Enpal is like the first scaling company in this field. So we grew in the last 16 months, we grew by the factor of 7x. So we in 16 months ago, we had a 100 million run rate. Now we have a 700 million run rate. Yeah, we are able to grow like this profitably. Yeah, so we are EBITDA positive and we will stay positive. So what we do is we scale it, and we are able to manage the bottlenecks to scale it is sales and installation, and we are managing both bottlenecks, because sales, we're doing everything online with video conferences. Our people who explain our solution can work from everywhere, yeah. And for the installation part, we set up an academy. So we don't have any scarcity of labor, because we are able to train solar installers on our own, as many as we like. Yeah. Super. So this enables us to grow very fast and to become the first scaling company in Europe in this field, and to help to transform as many houses as possible.
Mario, we're getting yanked out of the stage here, but it's super exciting, particularly given our strategy at Princeville Climate Tech to marry returns with impact, and you're doing both, and we thank you, and lots more to do. So thanks very much.
Thank you so much.